The Twitchiest community has earned themselves a $1,000 bonus giveaway by reaching all of our goals with Guardian Tales. So go ahead and check out the description down below to go get your entries. The more ways you enter, the better your chances to win the $1,000, and keep your eyes out for opportunities in the future to earn more cash giveaways for the Twitchiest community. Hello everybody, and welcome to your Zeus, a mid lane guide. Right off the bat here, we are going to embrace the fact that we are Zeus, and chances are we are going to make so many friends. We're going to Zeus, Hades, Yamoja, so much problematic stuff for Zeus. So we're actually going to be starting off here with the Vampiric Shroud, and I'm actually going to take that into some more early lifesteal. This early lifesteal can help keep us alive on Zeus. We have tons of damage. Damage is not going to be our problem on Zeus. Our problem is going to be staying alive in order to do said damage. So the Vampiric Shroud here, going right into a Bancroft, will help keep us alive. Hopefully, through things like Fenrir Brutalize, through Hades combos, and all sorts of stuff that we can't avoid because we are a Zeus. Now, level 1, I'm going to grab my 2 right here just to help clear out those little side harpies. You can grab your Chain Lightning as well at level 1. But then you will super struggle with the lane clear. Your main form of lane clear is just throwing out this 2 on Zeus and then auto attacking your shield. So you can see right now I'm gonna beat that Baba Yaga pretty good and clear, and then I'm actually gonna grab my Chain Lightning second in our Detonate third. So Zeus is definitely not meta right now. For those that don't play Conquest, you might be like, what? Zeus isn't good? Because Zeus, a lot like Alpoosh, is usually good in modes that are not Conquest. He tends to fill up the lane and assault, you know, and stuff like that. Always has done well historically in Arena. But in Conquest, he ebbs and flows, and he's been in an ebb for a while now. Has not been a Zeus meta in a hot minute. Shout out to Vamp Shroud, which is gonna let us heal up pretty good by throwing out our 2. We got that potion procking. You can actually see how much sustain we're getting between that potion proc, that little tier 1 going into Bancroft. Like, we just got a lot of sustained value out of that right there, which is gonna help keep us alive, and that is the name of the game on Zeus. So Zeus is pretty straightforward. All he really provides to a team is damage, almost no CC. You've got a slow on your Chain Lightning, and that's it. You got the slow, and you've got like area deterrence with your ultimate. But even that's a little bit of a stretch. So we need to really make sure that we're hitting hard, because if we're not hitting hard, then why are we Zeus in the first place? So for our leveling order, it's going, we started there with the 2, then grabbed our 1 and our Detonate. But as far as maxing abilities goes, we are going to want to max in the order of 4, 3, 1, 2. So ultimate whenever you can, because that's going to increase the per lightning strike damage on your ultimate. Then the Detonate, because your Detonate is your bread and butter on Zeus. This is where most of your damage is going to come from. And then finally, your Chain Lightning and your shield, I guess. Your shield, you are literally just most of the time using to either 1, clear the wave, so you throw out the shield, now you just auto attack the shield, help save your mana. And also it's just your best wave clear. Secondarily, you're using it as a tool to land your Chain Lightning on. You can bounce that Chain Lightning off of, unfortunate, off of your shield, which allows you to get the bounce back and forth even on a target that is by itself. The most recent change to Zeus is actually something that you just got to see. You can throw your shield over the wall as Zeus. You can throw your ultimate over the wall. You can throw your shield over the wall. You can detonate on whoever has their charges on them, but you cannot chain lightning through a wall. They did give Zeus, though, the capability of throwing his shield over a wall just because it takes a second to come out, so that way you can have a little bit of a preparation if you're coming around a corner. You don't have to walk around the corner, then throw down the 2, then 1. You can like kind of throw it down as you're going across. I'm gonna try to get over near my Wheelix right now. I'm gonna try to get a little chain lightning bounce here off of Umoja, but he is not gonna fall for that trick, and so he's gonna be all alone against 4 of them. Can't afford to go all the way up that way. So we haven't even really detonated this game because we haven't had much in the way of like detonation opportunities. Now these guys are going to be pretty close to each other, so I get a little chain lightning right here. I might get a nice little bouncy bounce. Gonna throw down my ultimate to get one more charge and a little bit of damage onto the Umoja. And then it looks like my Sobek is actually going to be able to finish up that kill there on
I got your back, brother.
to Baba Yaga. So right there, we actually got to do what Zeus thrives at. We get a little bit of damage off at the start. We build up those stacks. I see that she's going to be just outside, right? I think I already had 30 stacks on Umoja. In terms of my detonate, the most stacks you can have on a target is 3, and it increases the damage per stack. But I don't think my detonate was actually going to kill the Umoja, so I throw down my ultimate just to get one little damage tick on her from the ultimate, which then puts her in the threshold for my detonate to kill her. So, when are we looking to pick Zeus on our team? The real answer is anytime you're not in Conquest. I know this is a Zeus Conquest guide, but outside of Conquest, Zeus tends to do really well. Inside Conquest, however, I can't recommend it to you really at any time. If in some crazy world in Season 8, you got yourself into a position where your team has decided to run like 4 physical characters and you somehow have very little damage, maybe your team locked in like 4 warriors, and so you're gonna have all this frontline, all this physical kind of damage presence, but not like actual damage, then maybe you'll lock in the Zeus and all of a sudden you're like, all right, boys, I'll bring the mage damage. Realistically, in that type of situation, you're probably better off picking another big damage mid laner, like a Kukulkan or something that's a little bit safer. So we got the Fenrir coming on to us towards the back. Ooh, but he's actually not going to continue that fight. Trying to get one more stack on the Umoja. I'm not going to be able to do it, which means I'm not going to be able to finish off that Umoja kill, but still not a bad little fight for us. So we do not have, of course, any movement abilities on Zeus. So going against a Fenrir is kind of a nightmare, because he is just going to brutalize me, and I can't stop his brutalize. So what do I do if Fenrir brutalizes me? The only thing that Zeus is good at doing, I would throw down my shield right on top of my body, then I would throw down my chain lightning, auto attack in the meanwhile, and then detonate as soon as I can. You cannot detonate after you are dead. It's not like a Scylla Crush or whatever. You cannot wait until after you're dead to pop it. You have to pop it before you die. You play a little animation along with it. You throw your hand in the air, and then all of a sudden you detonate. So be very careful about that. Now I'm gonna grab myself this Bancroft, and with my Bancroft finished, I'm gonna get a couple of wards. I'm actually in a decent spot right now. Haven't died in the first 10 minutes yet as Zeus. We managed to get to our Bancrofts. Now we actually have a good amount of sustain to help us keep alive through some of the burst damage that they may be able to provide. Now they have a lot of healing themselves, so I'm gonna make sure that I go get myself a Divine Ruin as my next item. Between the Fenrir self-sustain, Hades got the heal. Yamoja, obviously, a lot of heals. Medusa is surely to have some items as well with the heals. Throw down my ulti right there on Baba. Bada bing, bada boom. That is the best case scenario. I'm just gonna start auto attacking because I know he's gonna brutalize, so I'm just trying to build up as much healing as I can through my Bancrofts right there. Not gonna be able to live, but we do get a kill. Kind of the story of Zeus. We invest our kit into the Baba Yaga. She gets hit by 2 ticks, I think, of the ulti right there, which is actually quite nice. It's not super easy to get on a single target. Fenrir comes in for the brutalize. I can't run away from the brutalize, right? It is just simply stuck on me. So instead of just like turning my back and running away while he just absolutely slaps me, I just sit there and I auto attack him. Gonna build up some of those detonate stacks just in case the fight went long enough for me to detonate again. Also utilizing that Bancrofts just for a little bit of sustain, trying to keep me alive a little bit longer. Running away isn't gonna help in that situation, so you just gotta kind of commit to the fight. You gotta find that situation a lot on Zeus. The good news is, with boots being gone soon, you can get into that Bancrofts without even having to worry about getting into the boots next patch, which actually might help out Zeus a little bit. Not enough to like make a meta or anything, but definitely enough to help. When you get that Bancrofts a little bit earlier, you get that bonus power, that bonus sustain. You don't have to worry about grabbing the boots, because Zeus's movement speed is one of the slowest in the entire game. I don't know who's the exact slowest in the game, but he is definitely down there. About to make a Fenrir friend. I'm gonna ulti right on top of myself, try to get some of that healing from the Bancrofts. We're actually gonna get a lot of sustain out of that Bancrofts. Unfortunately, the Fenrir does come back in, but we should be able to get a couple of picks more off on this. So this is basically what's gonna be happening the entire time you play Zeus. Realistically, you should be the target focus because you do genuinely do a lot of damage, and you have no way to escape. So the Emoji ulti is gonna get me stuck. A Hades ulti, I'm gonna have to sit in. A Fenrir brutalize is gonna take me down all the way. So all you're trying to do on Zeus, your one goal is to just get out as many of your damaging abilities as you can before you die. For this reason, I actually don't grab a lot of cooldown on Zeus because I find that typically you're not going to get more than 1 round of abilities off anyway. So the goal is to make that 1 round of abilities hurt as much as humanly possible, because there's never going to be a round 2 ability. So make the round 1 count. And you can very well make it count, because if you get one person down to, like, let's say 30% health, and you still had a couple of detonates and other people a couple of charges, so you detonate them and now they're down to 70%, that might not be too bad, especially considering that they're gonna obviously dump quite a few abilities into you as well to make sure that you're dead. So you can still provide value to your team throughout that damage, but do not expect to have a sexy KDA. So what's our standard combination here on Zeus? Pretty straightforward. Our standard combination is almost always going to be to throw out our 2 first. That shield goes down. That means we can follow up with our 1 on the target that we're trying to kill. Now it's going to get the bounce back and forth. So let's do it here on the Pyromancer. Shield. We throw out our 1. It's going to bounce back and forth. We get 3 charges up. Once we get 3 charges up, we can go ahead and detonate. Now, every once in a while, you'll get 3 charges up and you don't want to detonate, like right now, where I was utilizing the additional damage that I got on the Pyromancer by having charges on him. Don't forget that Zeus, part of his passive, is you get bonus damage on auto attacks if a target has those charges on him. Up to 3 charges, which means you get bonus damage up all the way as those go on them, and you get that damage increase of 30% per charge. Now, I know a couple people out there in the world just heard Incon I am building auto attack Zeus. I hear you loud and clear. That is not what I said. What I said was Zeus gets extra auto attack damage if a unit has charges on them. That's it. It's actually not a great passive at all for Zeus because he wants to stand back as far as he can, preferably not even being that close to auto attack range. Do me a favor and please do not go for auto attack Zeus. I would highly appreciate it, and so would all your teammates. So right there, you see another good counter to Zeus. Hades walks right on up to me. He pops his ultimate. I don't have beads. That means I have to just sit in it. So I just throw down my ulti on top of him and try to get some lifesteal from that. Pop the Aegis. Try to get the detonate off, but we don't get the detonate off by the time that the brutalize comes around and hits us. If you have to pick Zeus, like we said, we talked about what you're looking for in your team. All you're literally looking for is a bunch of physical damage. Like, you gotta have the magical damage and anybody that can help keep you alive. Anything, anywhere that helps keep you alive is a good thing. You are going to get bopped. So if you can have somebody like a Kepri who's ready for it, that can be quite nice. Maybe a Geb, something of that sort, to just like embrace the fact that you are going to get Wally want. Maybe in the solo lane you had a Ymir solo or something on top of it. Maybe he can help wall people off, stop them from getting to you. Maybe he freezes them off you. Even a Ganesh silencing the brutalize off of you. Trying to peel in that regard. Zeus needs peel on peel on peel. Gotta see if I can get over towards this Fenrir. That was a weird use of Fenrir ulti right there. Not bad damage coming out right now. If I can get this pop to go off, there's gonna be a lot of damage right there. And that is for sure going to be a dead Medusa. As far as the enemy team's comp is concerned, the list of things that you need to be concerned about is basically endless. You don't have the CC immunity in your kit, so you need to be aware of gods with really high amounts of CC. A lot of stuns. A Kumbhakarna, for example, could wreck you. The root, you're stuck. And then you're gonna get messed. All that good stuff. For walls are gonna be the bane of your existence. Nikes that backfire by the goal are gonna be the bane of your existence. So a Ymir wall, a Thor wall, anything like that is going to wreck you. You do have good early game clear, so you got that going for you. As long as you've got your shield up, your clear in the early stages of the game is not bad, although you do have to get within auto attack range, which is a little bit closer than you probably want to be. Any god with an immunity is really annoying for you. A Raven or a Chang'e, an Aphrodite, because the Aphrodite ulti. Anybody, your detonate has a small little delay time on it, which means there is enough time for the enemy to react and to use a avoidance skill to take no damage from your detonate. And if your detonate is doing no damage, then Zeus is doing no damage. So all of those different things you have to watch out for. But hey, good news, you don't have to worry about cripples. So Ares, eat your heart out. You got to worry about his ultimate, but at least you don't have to worry about the cripple aspect. Gonna head my way over to right hand side. It looks like there do be a fight breaking out over here. Gonna throw down a little sentry ward. Unfortunately, they know that I'm over here because they did have this warded. Gonna come around onto the Emoja. This is some pretty aggressive pathing, I'm not gonna lie. Looks like Emoja might have tapped out right there. Got a Hades all the way behind us, so it's time to go take a gander at a little Hades.
Destroyed a left enemy Phoenix.
And then maybe we can get ourselves set up for the fire giant.
Attack fire giant.
We can just head on over to the old fire giant right now, grab that, and be one step closer to putting this one away. As far as Zeus in terms of power spikes, he really only has two different sections. You've got Zeus early game. When you get your 3 abilities, you've got a little bit of a power spike there. 2-1 in the detonate in the early game. Can actually do really good in that 2v2 fight. Zeus also does thrive in the early 2v2s because you can chain lightning back and forth off of the 2 of them and then set yourself up for the detonate damage. That can also be not bad for him. And then outside of that, all you're looking for is the ultra late game team fight. So ultra early game because of his lane clear and 2v2 fight potential, and then ultra late game because you basically just throw down the ulti, get as many targets stacked up as you can, and then detonate before you die, which can do a lot of damage. So we've got ourselves the band crops into our Healy McSeelies. Then we had the Divine Ruin, of course, because they had all sorts of healing on their team. Then we grabbed ourselves the Rod of Tahuti. Rod of Tahuti is just for the straight damage. We're gonna get ourselves that extra power, of course, when the enemy is low in the HP. And because we're Zeus, they should be low in the HP. And now we're gonna work ourselves into a Typhon's Fang. Typhon's Fang is gonna give us another 10% of magical penetration, which is up to now 20% with that Rod of Tahuti. And then at the very end of the game, now that we've got Bancroft and Typhons, we can turn our Vamp Shroud into a Sacrificial Shroud. Sacrificial Shroud will make us take some damage from our abilities, but that's okay because we've got the Bancrofts and the Typhons thing in order to heal ourselves up. And it really embraces the kind of just straight dive energy of Zeus, where people are gonna dive on top of you. A bunch of damage is gonna get done and you're gonna go down. And you're really just embracing the one thing that Zeus is actually good at. Fun fact, that Vampiric Shroud is actually the highest damaging potential in Smite. Like of all items in Smite, it can give you more bonus damage than any other item. It is an extremely good item in terms of just raw damage.
You're on fire.
So on Zeus, try to find yourself a little bit of extra lifesteal at the start of the game. Help keep yourself alive. As you move into later stages of the game, embrace the straight up raw damage potential that you have. I don't necessarily recommend picking Zeus in your conquest game modes, but maybe in some of your other game modes out there in the world, guys. And of course, the #1 most important bit of Zeus information that I can part onto you in order to help you win your games with Zeus is the best time to be a Zeus is when the enemy mid laner disconnects, guys. And that is our Zeus mid lane guide. Thank you for supporting the Twitchiest community. If you'd like to see more videos, make sure you subscribe to the channel and always hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos. Thank you for all your support and have a Twitchin' day, y'all.